everybody, and welcome back to Grand Bazaar. It is the 50th video, which is pretty exciting. And I'm here paused at my bedside because, as you can see, it is very, very late. And I will be forced to go to bed in about an hour. And it will be Bazaar Day tomorrow. And I was trying to fit in things I wanted to talk about now with Bazaar Day, and it all kind of just got to be a little bit too much. It was too long of a video because we also get to check out our expanded bazaar. It'll be our first bazaar at the 75% mark. So what I'm gonna do instead is go over a few things I wanted to talk about. And it's also a good opportunity just to kind of fit a hard event or two in as well. So the first thing I wanted to kind of go over was cooking, because we have a lot of options. Everything that I grew came in. So not only do I have turnips and potatoes, I now have cucumbers and asparagus, strawberries, the whole works. Everything that I've grown in spring, and you can see that I'm doing quite well. I've got a little bit of everything here to work with. I also still have a boatload of milk and eggs and such to work with as well. So I figured we would do a little bit of cooking. And I'm going to start with asparagus. Now, I've also been doing a lot of research about what is the most profitable way to use everything that we have. And I have things all laid out in a Word document. And what I can tell you about asparagus is that it is worth a lot of money on its own. It's definitely worth growing and waiting for. If you turn it into seeds, you actually lose close to $200 as opposed to just selling one asparagus on its own. But if you're able to make this simple dish that I'm going to make, you increase your profits a little bit. And all we're gonna do is just throw the asparagus in the kitchen on its own, and we'll be able to make some asparagus soup. Simple, easy, something to add to our recipe list, which is exciting. I also have these 2 stacks of shiitake mushrooms, and normally I just make steamed mushrooms by putting the shiitake in on its own, which does increase the amount of profit that you get. But I actually forgot that there is something else that you can do with these to make a lot more money, and that is to combine it with an egg. Now, I obviously have a lot of eggs. So we're gonna go ahead and turn both stacks of these mushrooms into a new dish. This is egg custard. And our cooking level will also increase, which is very, very nice. And the nice thing about egg custard, if I could find it in our menu here, is that the mushroom portion of it can be substituted. So you can make this even with the other mushrooms that we find in other seasons, which is fantastic. So that's just something to keep in mind. I know mushrooms are kind of rare, but I have a lot of eggs to use up, so any excuse to use up some eggs and make some additional money, it is way, way more profitable than trying to sell these 2 items on their own, and it's definitely more profitable than just having the steamed mushrooms. So that's another one that I recommend. Really nice, simple, and easy. Let's go ahead and cook those other two as well. And this will also clear up a little bit of space in our inventory, I hope. And I'm trying to keep an eye on the clock. You can see it's 4:40. So if we are still up at 5 a.m., our farmer is going to pass out and we will be forced to go to bed. But I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I discovered this completely by accident, and I have been taking advantage of it. If you are in your storage menu and the clock hits 5, it will not kick you out. So on days just before the bazaar, I have been taking advantage of this to be more efficient. I can go through my menu, I can really take the time to figure out what items I want, and I can throw things away, I can move stuff around, and as long as I don't leave the menu, time won't actually pass, I won't be forced to go to bed, and this saves me a lot of time on Bazaar video days because I don't have to do the inventory management side of it because it's already been done. So you can see here, for example, that I've gone pretty crazy with bugs. I've caught way more bugs than I need, and I realize that because I also have some in my storage as well. And I've run the numbers, and butterflies at least are really not that profitable. So I will most likely just end up getting rid of some of these butterflies as well. Maybe I'll just sell them to Raoul. But my plan is to bring along a few tree frogs for Antoinette, and I am going to bring some butterflies for Daisy and Freya. So I'll take the stack of 7, and then from here, it just gives me time to really think and have my thoughts and just sort of figure out what it is that I'm doing. So I really appreciate it. Like I said, I was just kind of testing it out. I thought to myself, what would happen if you're in the menu when 5 a.m. hits? And it's kind of a nice little hack because it is a time saver, I think. I'm going to actually organize my inventory a little bit later. That wasn't the point of this video. We still want to do a little bit more cooking, but it is just something that I thought I would mention because I love it. I think it's great, especially in this game when there are absolutely 0 repercussions to staying up late. So you can see when we exit the menu, we will pass out, somehow wake up in our bed. I'm not really sure. Maybe we just crawled our way over. And it's now Bazaar Day. I have a full stamina bar, and I've only lost an hour of the day, realistically. Apparently our farmer is able to just run on 1 hour of sleep, and that is totally fine. Nothing changes, so I've been taking full advantage of that. It does make the days longer, but I'm able to get in all of my watering, all of my fertilizing, all of my socializing. I'm really able to do it all. And then I do inventory management sort of later on. So I will be coming back to do a video of our actual bazaar today. And there's just one more dish that I want to make at this point in time that we don't already have. And the base item is a cucumber. So you have to have cucumbers for this. And I'm going to use a turnip as the second ingredient, and it actually works out beautifully because we have 18 of each. I'm gonna be able to get more turnips and more cucumbers. I'm not worried about it. So we're gonna go ahead and make a mixed salad. And this is another really, really great dish because the cucumber is the base, but you can actually substitute the turnip for multiple vegetables. So if you decided to grow cucumbers in your basement, for example, and you were in a different season and you had some different crops, you could probably still make this and get yourself a pretty decent amount of money. And the thing with cucumbers is that they are really not very profitable at all, unfortunately. Cucumbers, I think at the level that I had them, were only worth about $130 for the actual crop itself, which is comparable to turnips on their own. So I would say cucumbers and turnips are about the same amount of profit if you don't do anything with them. If you're able to make cucumbers into seeds, it more than doubles the amount of money that you get. I was able to make about $400 off of one cucumber by getting 2 seeds, because one seed is worth $200. So definitely worth making them into seeds if you can, but the mixed salad makes it even more profitable, especially if we combine a cucumber with a turnip, because we're essentially taking the 2 crops of the lowest value in spring, combining them, and we're making ourselves a really, really profitable dish. And I will be taking some of these dishes to the bazaar with us. I'll lay them out and we can actually see how profitable some of these things are. So it's been a lot of work to go through and kind of experiment and try to figure out what is worth the most and what we should be doing with our crops and all the different ways that we can use it, but it's been fun. I enjoy it. And one other thing that I made off screen, but I don't think I ever actually made it on screen to show off, was strawberry jam. So I'll make a couple of these. It's just jam on its own. And I had made this jam before I figured out how incredibly profitable strawberry seeds are. The seeds are arguably the absolute best thing to do with them at this point, because we don't have access to some other things that we need for cooking, like flour is a big one. Otherwise, we might be able to make some desserts with strawberry. But at this point in time, at least for me, on this file that I'm playing on right now, the best thing that I can do is turn strawberries into seeds. But it's also fun to fill out our cookbook and to just kind of play around a little bit. I have a lot of strawberries, and I've got more time in the season to get even more strawberries, so it's not like I couldn't just save a couple and make, you know, the occasional jam. Speaking of, I've got a whole bunch here to harvest. We're about halfway, a little over halfway through the month. So I will continue to grow stuff, and I will also probably just continue to cook, and I'm gonna stick with these recipes for the remainder of the month because they are the best money makers that I could find. The egg custard. Probably won't get a chance to make these again because I need mushrooms, which are pretty rare. But I'm gonna be turning all of my asparagus into soup, and I will be using my cucumbers and turnips to make some mixed salad. And if I run out of cucumbers, I will make turnip salad, and with the cucumbers, I would turn them into seeds. I will turn my strawberries into seeds. And I hope that with all these things combined, we're gonna be able to bring a really nice spread, a really nice variety of stuff over to the bazaar, and hopefully we can make some decent money. And that's pretty much all I wanted to go over. I will be back to actually go to the bazaar and do our regular bazaar day tomorrow. But because this video is a little bit on the shorter side, I think it's a good idea to see one of our yellow heart events to end things off. The day after the bazaar, in fact, on the 18th of spring here, I'm right by my front door. And by entering my house at a certain time, we're gonna be able to see Antoinette. So we'll let her come on in and talk with us. I don't know what to do. Mother sent me a letter. She said I should come study in the city for design. I'm interested in fashion design, and I know there's a lot to learn if I'm serious about it. I want to learn, I really do. But do I really have to go to the city for that? I don't know if I want to move away right now. I'm sure you're like, how should I know? But I thought that maybe you'd have advice. We'll just tell her to listen to her heart. Not really great advice, but she seems happy. Are you trying to cheer me up? Silly. I need to take some time to think this over. Thanks for listening to me. I should head home now. And that concludes all of Antoinette's heart events. That is the last one. And there's a pretty common theme there where she's still trying to figure out who she is and what she wants. But it's nice to see her kind of open up to us gradually, a little bit each time that we see an event from her. And a reminder that the wife poll is live. I've had it posted for a little while now, and it's definitely got some traction. We've got some votes, and it's still going to run for a little while. So if you haven't got your vote in, make sure to vote. I will leave a pinned comment with the link if you haven't seen it elsewhere. And I will be back for Bazaar Day tomorrow. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.